So if you want to take the OSCP, then we know that privilege escalation is something that will come guaranteed, right? So we need to make sure that we are extremely solid on it. And that's exactly what I will help you with in this video. So I will go over the tools and techniques that I think will massively benefit you when it comes to being prepared. And I will also go over my recommended machines and labs that I think will give you the most bang for your buck to be as prepared as humanly possible, right? Let's just get right into it. The rooms that I would suggest is these ones. So these rooms, so I have 3 for Windows privilege escalation, and I have 3 for Linux privilege escalation. So they're all on TryHackMe. There's only one of them that's paid, but you can find a free walkthrough on it on YouTube, or just search for it on Google and you will find it. But these cover all of the attacks that you need. So they cover how to do all the different service exploits, right? And there's a lot. How to find auto runs in registry and always install elevated. And again, all of these can lead to privilege escalation, right? And again, these rooms literally just cover all of the techniques, but the important part to do here is that you take great notes, because after you've done all of these rooms and you've taken good notes, and if you need to redo them, definitely redo them, because in my opinion, these are the best rooms that exist for learning privilege escalation. It's what I took and it helped me massively, and people that I knew was heavily stocked when it came to PrivEsc, I basically told them to do these rooms and take good notes, and it massively helped them out because it's very, very structured and clear. And again, for Linux privilege escalation as well, it's the same thing. You'll go over the tools, kernel exploits, sudo suid exploits, capabilities cron job, right? How to hijack the path, NFS, etc. So, but take all of these rooms. Not only will it give you repetition, but it will cover things that the other ones may not have covered, right? So do these rooms, take good notes, and after that, just do random CTFs, because you will always be a PrivEsc. Well, not always, but often, right? And then you will be able to identify any of these, and then you will get practice in actually identifying the PrivEsc, because that's equally as important as being able to perform it, right? If you never catch it, then you won't be able to do the rest. There's one technique that is not covered here, which I thought I should definitely mention. But before we get to that, the tools that I would advise you actually use is the following. So when it comes to Windows, I would highly suggest using a tool called PowerUp. It is super useful, and it's just the tool that I tend to prefer when it comes to PrivEsc, because you quickly run it and it will often just tell you straight up which PrivEsc is relevant. You can't rely on it only, because it doesn't find everything, but it comes to like service exploits, etc. It often finds it, okay? So it's an amazing tool. So I always run that before I run WinPeace. But if I don't find anything with PowerUp or instantly checking the who am I all, checking the permissions, right, of the user, then that's my go-to after that. So yeah, that's exactly what I would recommend for Windows. Now, just one heads up when it comes to that is that you can use the invoke all check functionality of the tool, but don't use the autopon features of it, because that's simply just not allowed. So I thought I should mention that. So yeah, just don't use the autopon feature of that tool and you're perfectly fine. When it comes to Linux, I would recommend using LinPeace, obviously. It's an absolutely just amazing tool. And you really don't need any other tools in that, because it has some other tools built into LinPeace itself. But you can also run tools like LSE or Linux Smart Enumeration. And that's pretty good as well. Sometimes I run that as well. But yeah, really just do these rooms, get comfortable with those tools, or if you prefer other tools, then you feel free to use those. But yeah, that's really what I would advise. And then also, if you haven't checked out our 2-hour free course on OSCP specifically, then you should absolutely go do that. We put a lot of effort into it, and people have been absolutely saying amazing things so far. And believe it or not, it's just a mini course that's 2 hours. We have a full one inside of our community, which is about 5 times as long. And you also get personal access to me, where you can ask a lot of questions, and people have been taking advantage of that. People are asking questions, people are learning, people are taking the courses and just learning everything they need to be able to crush it, and so that they don't have to hopefully spend $250 on an exam retake because they weren't prepared. Before we wrap up this video, I wanted to cover this one technique that, again, is not mentioned in this, and that has to do with local put forwarding. I cover it in the OSCP pivoting video, but basically the TLDR of it, you can check out more details in that. The TLDR of it is let's say you can't find any privest paths, right? But then you check the processes and you see that there's a web server that's running as root on a random port like port 8000. But to be able to exploit it, you would ideally want to have access to your tools, whether it's Burp Suite or be able to see the actual web server in a GUI. Then you can't really do that from the shell that you have. So from that scenario, you will need local put forwarding. And you can do this with Chisel or SSH sometimes, Ulugolo, or really whatever you prefer. Those are my suggestions. And yeah, that can be a thing that happens on the OSCP exam that a lot of people would not be prepared for, and then that might literally fail you the OSCP exam just that, because you didn't get those last points from the previous. So yeah, I just thought I should mention that to you guys. It's that's the only thing that is not covered in the machines that I gave you, but yeah, do that and you should be absolutely amazingly prepared. So yeah, really hope that helps you out. Really hope that helps you guys out, and thank you so much for watching. Check out the resources that I mentioned, and let's fucking crush it for the OSCP. Best of luck.